Talked to the team quite a bit before practice started. What was kind of the message there? Are you still trying to reinforce what happened Saturday night where you were?
Well, no, really, it was the first time I've had a chance to talk to them since Saturday night because we had Saturday night and then we had um, nothing Sunday. So, I mean, when you have a chance to watch the film, there's good things, there's bad things. Like I thought Sam played really well on Saturday night. I think some guys, when you watch the film, sometimes you're like, that's an errant throw it's up here. Then you watch the tape, and a guy who's supposed to sit it down at 5 yards runs 7, and he's having to adjust. So, I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to talk about that practice before we started this practice. So it's a weird thing with it's really a weird thing with the way the training camp's set up. So have a night practice into an off day and then not have a chance to talk about it.
On that note about seeing it on tape, and maybe you need to, but do you know what might have happened on Sam's first throw at team?
Oh, today was not good enough at any. And I can't comment on the defense, so I'm gonna keep that strictly to the offense. I mean, we ran the wrong routes, So when we run the wrong routes, puts two guys in position. So if there is a tip ball, the defender's right there. I mean, everything's spaced out properly for a reason. And I mean, today was really poor on offense at times. I mean, I will say there's always good things that happen. I thought you saw some leadership from some guys. I thought they ran the ball well, but the false starts, the fumbles, the interceptions, the missed assignments, really disappointing.
What do
so
you chalk it up to?
I don't know. Because I don't even think, like, my mind is like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, there's 1,000 reasons why. This game is so simple. Either you get it done or you don't. And so, I'll go back and watch the tape. I'll see a lot of good things on offense. I'll see some things on defense that were really not that good. I mean, we had some false starts and we had some, things in the back end. We're grabbing way too much on defense. So, we are a work in progress. We're definitely a team that needs to get in pads, though. Get some physicality out and see who can really play.
Man, we've asked you a lot about Jeremy Chin. There aren't a lot of teams that take a player who's really effective one position and try moving them. And talk about why you guys did that and how he's looking back there since then.
Because it's a good question. I think we recognize his skill set is only being partially used at one position, and so. You go back and watch. He played a lot of deep safety reps last year, so it's just repping him and training him a little differently. I think we'll still use him in a lot of the same ways, but it's really that. And I just think in terms of who he is, I mean, he's versatile. To use him in only one area is not taking advantage of his true, ability level.
Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to see the true ability? What do you say?
I want to see him play down around the line of scrimmage. But play on the back end, play man. Pressure, I think he's someone that he can just move all around the field.
Is there an antsiness to get into pads? Could that might be attributed to some of the sloppiness today? Or?
Again, I can't. I don't. Guys know me. I'm not going to ever sit there because it sounds. I don't make excuses and I don't let others make them for us. Like, I don't care if we came out here and it had rained all night and the field was sloppy. Like, our job is to go out there and execute and play good football. So, I could let them off the hook and say, well, that was an off day, but. That's not what this game's about. This game's about finding a way to get it done, and so we did not get it done well enough today, in certain periods and at certain times. So, luckily about training camp, you have another day tomorrow to try to go out there and get it fixed.
Matt, do you have an update on AJ and Shaq?
Shaq was limited today. I mean, there was some thought that he could go, and it just made more sense to me to try to just sit him today and then try to get him ready for tomorrow, put him in pads. And then AJ, I don't. I know he just came up lame and just pulled something. So we'll see. We'll see as the day goes on how that looks.
Is JC starting to settle in a little bit? The way early in camp he wasn't as sharp, but now the last 3 interceptions now in the last couple of practices.
Say that. I'm sorry. Who?
JC, is he starting to settle in?
Yeah, but JC's he's grabbing and holding way too much. I mean, a lot of those calls are going to get called back. So I love JC's. Tenacity, but he's got to master his craft along the way, and he knows that. I mean, but the ball finds him. He certainly finds a way to get to the ball. I mean, there's no doubt about the things he can do. But like any player, I mean, you see the good things, you got to work on the bad things. And some of the guys we only see the bad things, and I got to focus on the good things. So there's a balance to all of us. JC's just a young player. He's going to get better and better.
That Trent Kennedy's been practicing some with the wide receivers. Is he going to primarily play that? And if so, what's the change?
Yeah, I think Trenton. We look at Trenton as one of the premier gunners in the league, who's also an excellent returner. So he's really that's he's a special teams standout. So we've just tried to utilize different ways to rep him at practice, to utilize his speed, play him at receiver. We know he can play running back, but his main role on this team for us is as a gunner, as a returner, as a special teams standout.
Matt, with what you have been able to evaluate pre-pads with Jermaine Carter, what have you seen from him so far?
It's a good question. Jermaine's very active, very vocal in terms of making the communication checks. He's right a lot. He's up in the 230s now. I think when I got here he was like 218, so he looks like a big linebacker. So I think we see some good things from him. When we put the pads on and get into the games and all that, that's when the next step for him has to happen. But I've been pleased with him so far.
Do you see the wide receiver hierarchy being more situational, or do you think that there will be some separation, especially at that third receiver spot?
We play a lot. We've been playing a lot with two receivers on the field. We'll try to rotate those guys, but Robbie and DJ are the primary focus. I think when you get to third down, I think obviously we've been adding in Terrace Marshall and David Moore, in 11 personnel. But obviously Robbie and DJ to us are our two sort of leaders in that group, and then the other guys are growing and learning. David's learning the system for the first time. Terrace is learning the system for the first time. So there's a lot. That's one of the things today. There was a lot of mistakes. Our guys are having to understand you have to come prepared every day, knowing what the new install is.
You referenced rain. I think there is rain in tomorrow morning's forecast. I'm guessing you'll stay out in it, right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we practice in the morning. Not having an indoor is so that we can always bump it back if there's lightning. It looked like there was a chance maybe for lightning today, or tomorrow, or the next day. So if it looks like, hey, it's going to be done by 11, I'd always just move the practice to 11. I don't see any need to, hey, let's go out and try to get in the rain.
But no real indoor option.
No, I don't unless we go in the gym and bang it around a little bit. I think we'll be out here at some point, and it being the first day in pads, I'd like it to be the best possible weather.
What do you think of? I think they're being called Chin Baby LeBron. What do you think of that nickname for him? How fitting is that?
It's the first I've heard of it, and I have really no comment on that. I don't know anything about.
LeBron's a pretty big compliment. So when you think of Chin, is that pretty high cotton for that?
Yeah, I have no comment on that. I don't.
Okay.
I mean that respectful. I just call him Chinny.